just kind of start with Jose, just what he was able to, what he meant to this franchise, the city, and to you these last few years.
Well, I was with him for 3 years, and I can't speak highly enough of the individual, the competitor, the player, the teammate. He meant so much to this community. His energy, his fire, his resiliency, his toughness, his energy every single day was infectious for this program. He raised our level every single day just when he walked in the gym. Very few guys can do that. But to do what he did at his size, undrafted, to stick around, and just when you thought he was dead, he'd always find a way to find himself back on the court. It's like a little cockroach that just would not go away. And I'm happy for him. I'm thrilled that obviously we're going to miss him. It's going to be a significant loss for us. It already is. But he moves forward, and his future is bright, and the Knicks got a very good player. Now it's our job to move forward. Other guys have to step up, step into that role. It's a great opportunity for some other young players in our organization to take that next step.
Yeah, I mentioned that the next of we've seen what energy he brings off the bench, but now it looks like might be a chance for Bryce, who is, as we talked about before, with his two-way deal kind of being there. But what do you want to see from some of these guys off the bench tonight? No Jose, not having that energy.
Right, I think they got to, number one, start with the energy and the effort, right? The physicality, the energy that Jose brought to our program. But most guys have. When they stepped into this role, even when Jose was out, they delivered. We've seen Bryce deliver. We've seen, Hawk deliver. We've seen Peavy deliver in those moments. And I expect the same thing here tonight. Those guys will step up into this opportunity and make the most of it.
And then kind of just going back and looking at Trey's night from the other night, you got a chance to look at it. What stood out about his performance and what he was able to do?
Well, the shot making was elite. To set a franchise record like that, the shot making was elite, and he got us back into that game, and he's grown into that role. I think what stood out to me was the fourth quarter poise and the belief and the confidence. That's something that Trey hasn't done over his career. Even if you go back to college, I didn't see him in high school, but this was not a role that he embraced or had even in the college world, certainly not at the NBA level. This is new for him, and you can see the strides he's making, the confidence, the belief, the poise to make big plays, take big shots, make big shots. You're going to fail some, you're going to succeed some, but he's confident in his work, he's confident in his game to step into those moments. So he'll just continue to grow in those areas, and we're continuing to grow as a team in these clutch situations. I love the fact that we're in these games and we're putting ourselves in these positions. 10 of our last 15 games have been clutch games. That's all you can, ask of this team right now. So we'll continue to do that, but Trey's a big part of it.
This has been a really long road trip, not just length, but like you just talked about, you've been in all these games, but you've fallen a little bit short. The guys continue to come back. How do you think they responded mentally to this week?
It was a very, trade deadline week's tough on everybody, much less the road trip, and then you add the trade deadline, the Jose piece to all that. I think the group in general has stayed focused on the task at hand, which is to improve and get better every day, to stay focused, locked in on what we control, our process, our development as a team, as individuals. And I think our guys have done that, that you can get lost and discouraged when you're losing these tough, close games. That's human nature. But the beauty in this team is that even within a game, we rise up. There's resiliency in us. We never drop the sword. We continue to move forward. Same thing after a loss, the next morning. We face it. We own it. Where can we get better? And the group is there. They're just like, there's the curiosity of how do we do this? How do we get better? We're not shying away from it. We're embracing it. And teams that, I keep saying this, teams a few years ago that were doing this, going through it, they found their way out of it. This team is on the cusp of doing that, and it's going to take some time, but we're making strides. It's all between the ears, though. It's that confidence, that belief. How do we get better versus pointing the finger? This is not going to be a group that points the finger and blames. That's what some, people outside our world want to do. That's not what we're about. We're not going to do that. We're going to stay connected, stay together, talk through it, and move forward. And that's what we've done on this road trip. I've seen evidence of that on this road trip. Thank you.